question that I've wanted to ask you for a very long time, and it's kind of personal.
What's your question? I mean, there's nothing I wouldn't answer. We've known each other for like 15 years.
This is kind of like bros talk, and I don't want this to ever leave this room.
Oh God. Okay. Well, your wife is like literally probably 10, 15 feet away from us.
She's in a different room, so she can't hear us. You know, no one's ever going to hear this conversation.
Yeah.
Ever.
No, not with our numbers.
All right. When you're in the bedroom,
okay,
and you're doing the thing,
okay, reading a book,
or a different thing,
right?
Does movie soundtracks ever pop into your head while you're getting a rhythm?
Not a single time.
You never just go dun 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 dun.
The Pirates of the Caribbean theme.
Dun 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 dun. Oh
my God, dude. You know, it never once has it popped in my head, but every time I've seen that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean 2 where they're on the spinning wheel and they're having a three-way sword fight, you know, a little blood does get flowing.
A little.
So, you know, I can't really blame you.
You raise your sword if you know what I mean.
Oh, you good.
Yeah. The sails have been raised.
Orlando Bloom, Johnny Depp. I mean, like, dude, how they knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing. There was no regrets. No regrets.
No, they put it all out on the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thank God every day for that.
Yeah.
Dude, welcome back to Texas.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Texas. You've been traveling.
Yeah, we did a little bit of traveling. We did a little bit. Berkan went to D23. Berkan was invited to D23.
The ultimate Disney fan event as a creator. That's one of the craziest things I've ever really will say in my entire life.
Yeah.
Disney invited me. It's cool.
What an honor, honestly. What was it like when you first got that email where it was like, hey, do you want to come to D23?
So here's the thing. I always wanted to go to D23.
Oh, you've always told me.
I was the guy who like would sit on my couch during D23 and like constantly refresh.
A nerd. There's a word for that. It's called a nerd.
Yeah. I'm a full-fledged Disney geek.
Yeah, Disney adult
geek.
Disney adult. Yeah.
But I would just be like sitting there refreshing, like
right.
texting.
I don't need to refresh because I'm always so fresh.
Oh please! But I'm always like telling my parents or telling my friends like, oh, this new movie, they're making Star Wars again. Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Oh my God, they're making Star Wars again.
Like, oh my gosh, Avengers: Infinity War. It's gonna be crazy. Avengers: Endgame. They dropped the trailer. Like I was always that guy, like on the edge of my seat.
Right.
I always wanted to go to D23, and I would like stay up for hours watching other YouTubers there.
Yeah.
Watching their vlogs and their content and their thoughts and their shopping videos and all, like just wanting the full experience. And so this year I was like, Allison, I'm going to go because I don't know. It happens every 2 years. It's not every year. I can't just be like, okay, next year. It's every 2 years. And I'm like, Allison, I always feel like I'm missing out. And now that I have Big Screen Berkan, I have this platform, all these other creators I'm sure going to be there. And I'm always just like, I'm missing out.
Yeah.
And so I told her, and it's not cheap. Like, D23 is not a cheap thing. Mm-hmm. And so I told her, I was like, listen, I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to try to, like, earn it back with the content I make there. But I feel like I need to go. Like, I feel like I need to be there this year.
Yeah. Something was calling you.
Yeah, and, like, 3 hours, literally 3 hours before tickets went on sale, Disney invited me. And on top of that, I was originally going to go alone, but now Allison got to go with me.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
So because you've been watching it for years and years and you'd seen other YouTubers doing it, you must have had crazy expectations going into it.
Honestly also like no, like yes and no. Like I had ideas, but this year was very different too because like a lot of the crazy like Marvel presentations, the Star Wars presentation, the park reveals, like all those announcements, actually this year for the first time were a separated ticket event. So it wasn't.
What does that mean?
It means so usually it's at the same place as the convention center.
Yeah.
This year they took the big nightly celebrations, like all the movie trailer reveals, the park announcements, the legend ceremony. That was a separate ticket now. Like you had to buy an additional ticket and go to a stadium 10 minutes away.
But you still went to those, right? Because I saw you posting.
They invited me to go to those. They invited me to do both.
I was about to say I saw you posting all the stuff about Disney Legends and stuff like that.
I was incredibly grateful. They invited me to do both. So it was going to be different this year. So I didn't really know what to expect. And obviously, I saw videos of it, but it's totally different when you're like actually there, and everything. As a creator, I can say this: if I'm watching an event, I'm seeing like the polished version of it.
Yeah,
you know? I'm only seeing really the pros. I'm not seeing the cons or anything like the.
You're seeing the 4K predetermined camera angles. You know,
exactly. I'm looking at the best result of after hours and hours of content filmed.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the best of what they got.
Right, what they edited together.
Yeah, and so it's like it's hard to like really, and each one has like different like preferences. Like just because a content creator's there doesn't mean they're capturing everything, because it's also impossible to do everything at D23. Like you cannot like
because is there stuff going on at the same time?
Yeah,
is that why
panels happening at the same time? Like there was an Abbott Elementary panel, a Percy Jackson panel happening, and then like meet and greets, and you couldn't be and Marvel Animation sneak peek. You couldn't be everywhere at the same time. You have to really hope to get into one, and then there was this massive panel with the creators of The Simpsons, Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, Futurama, all of them in one panel
all of
together.
the like long form adult like cartoons.
Exactly. Like
all the ones that have been going on for years.
Hollywood royalty.
Yeah.
Animation Hollywood royalty. They literally are pillars of animation history.
Oh, yeah.
All in a panel together. But that was happening at the same time as the Honda Center stuff.
You know what? Futurama might be one of my favorite shows.
Really? I've never seen Futurama. It's the only... Futurama and Bob's Burgers I've never seen.
Futurama, I think I've seen probably twice. It's just literally every single line is a joke. And that's hard to do.
I want to get into Futurama.
And they're all kind of funny. And some of them are like... deep cuts. Like some of them reference stuff that you kind of have to be like, is this something that enough people even know about to make a joke about? Like the writers on there were like not scared to like swing and miss about like some niche topic, you know? And like, and again, every single line, just a clever written joke. Massive props to I think it's one of the massive props to them. I think it's one of my favorite shows. Anyway, sorry to sidetrack.
No. But so you probably would have loved to be like at that panel. Like you would have loved to see it. But that's I would have loved to have gone too, but I couldn't. It wasn't possible.
Yeah.
It was someone said like if you don't get into something, don't worry about it, because odds are you're doing something that somebody else really wanted to do. Like you're always doing you're always doing something that's going to be a memory for a lifetime.
Yeah. So what was your favorite thing that you saw? What panel or like reveal or trailer?
So I'll get to that, but first I want to kind of like address what my favorite part of D23 was.
Okay.
Because it's really like I just want to get through the sappy stuff before I get into like the nitty-gritty of it.
Sure.
The sappy thing is like we established how big of a deal it was for me.
Yeah.
And you know, like everybody knows how much I love Disney content. Like Disney movies shaped my entire
Anyone
life.
who's seen like any of your profiles on any social media knows how much you love Disney content.
Exactly.
And so in all of its forms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's so to do that, it's I still like get kind of like emotional like thinking about it. But so for me the thing that really hit was we're in the Uber. Not even at the convention center yet. We're in the Uber. I started seeing like the advertisements, like they had like these little banners on like the light posts and all that. Seeing that, like that made me emotional in the Uber. Like,
oh my god! Even just getting to D23. Okay.
And then the last day, Pixar invited us to go to their booth because each one, like Pixar, Marvel, Disney Plus, Hulu, they all had booths. Booths. I can't say booths.
And who's behind these booths? Like, what are they doing at these booths?
There's a ton of different experiences. There's photo ops. They have
with
really
who?
Cool. Just like so, there's a big Avatar photo op. So they had costumes from the movie. They had different like clips from the movie, different like life size like they.
So it's not just like when you say a booth, it's not just like a card table.
It's like
with like some
like
signs out front.
Experiences.
Yeah. Okay.
Star Wars, Lucasfilm, they brought the volume. Do you know what the volume is?
No.
So the volume, instead of like acting in front of green screens.
Oh.
Volumes are what they act on in front of, so the actors can see the set around.
Yeah, this is the thing that they did for the Mandalorian that John Favreau was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what they did.
Yeah.
And they brought it to D23 so you could see it.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it like?
I didn't actually get to like go in and like fully immerse myself in it.
You're a fake fan.
That's the only thing I didn't get to do.
Got it.
But I walked past it, you could see it, and it looks so like real.
Yeah.
It's really impressive. But anyway, so Pixar invited me to go to their booth on the last day before the show floor opened.
So when are there lines for these booths? When you say that they invited you, do you get to just skip the line, or like what's?
So when they invited me, I got to go in before the convention opened.
Oh,
so it opened at 9. I was there at 8:30.
Okay, yeah. Because I was like, what's the point of an invite if you have to wait in line anyway?
Yeah. So I got to like go, but this is the only day I got to go in early.
Okay.
So Pixar invited Alice and I specifically to go like look at their booths, take pictures, see any like details and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was really special because that was like when I got to look around and see the entire convention just like without the floods of people.
Yeah, because you're there before
take
everybody.
Take it all in. I get to visually I got to take everything in.
Yeah.
That was
all the booths are already set up and everything, and
yeah. And I was thinking, I was like, not many people actually get that moment where they can just stop and look.
It's just you and D23. Nobody in the way. Like,
yeah, it was really cool, and we got to take some really cool. We took some of my favorite pictures, Alice and I, together.
Yeah.
In that like moment, like it was really cool. But yeah, as for like actual panels and stuff, I love the Avatar booth. The Disney Plus booth was cool. They had some cool, like, they recreated the Simpsons meme where he's in the hedge, so you could take that photo. They created a bear, like, you know the show The Bear?
Yeah.
They created like an actual like cooking like booth thing where people were actually like making things, and they had these really cool exclusive giveaways they're just giving people.
Corner. I need hands.
Yeah. Marvel recreated the TVA. And so they had actual costumes. Like I saw Chris Evans' Captain America costume. I saw Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's Deadpool and Wolverine costume.
Nice.
Like it was so cool. And they had this like really cool Miss Minutes projection. You got to interact.
I was literally going to ask you, I was like, so what do you do about Miss Minutes? Because you can't have the TVA without Miss Minutes.
Miss Minutes introduced you before you like walk through. They had stuff from the brand new Agatha show coming out. So that was really cool. I also got to go to a 30 years of Toy Story panel.
30 years of Toy Story.
30 years of Toy Story.
Slight tangent, dude. Of course they're making a fucking Toy Story 5.
Yeah.
Of course they are.
Of course.
I've been so vocal about this. I don't like the Toy Story franchise because every single movie, they just play on your heartstrings and they're like, this is it. This is the finale, you know? So aren't you so sad that you're not a kid anymore?
I will say, this is the first time they didn't, like, indicate, like, they're concluding it. They just said, this is Toy Story 5.
So now it's just going to go on
indefinitely.
Story,
and the story makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about
it's about
Toy Story
iPad
5.
kids or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's like toys versus electronics, and then there's also going to be, like, this army of Buzz Lightyears. I'm excited. I love Toy Story. I'm glad they kind of fixed how it ended when they brought Woody back to be with everybody.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
My beef is just that Toy Story 1, you don't know it's going to be a franchise, and so you're kind of like, wow, that's the end. Toy Story 2 happens, you're like, fine. That's the only one where you're kind of like, there might be a third one, it might be a trilogy. Toy Story 3 happens, you're like, wow, they almost died.
But
and now they're no longer
later too.
And now they're no longer with and it was 10 years later. And so and now they're no longer with Andy. So whoa, my favorite, like, Pixar ended my favorite franchise, you know? The Toy Story movies are over. Then Toy Story 4 comes out, you know? Andy's still not there, but now Woody leaves the gang. And it's like, whoa, Woody's a lost toy now. Like, we're really grown up. Nobody needs toys anymore. It's over. It's done. And now they're coming out with a Toy Story 5.
Here's the thing.
3 of the 4 movies were conclusions to the franchise.
This is why it's so hard for Pixar to step away from that. Let me paint the picture for you, okay? 5 Pixar movies have made $1 billion.
Okay.
5 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, Toy Story 4, Toy Story 3,
whoa,
Finding Dory, Incredibles 2, and now the highest grossing animated film of all time,
Inside Out 2.
Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
So now, Toy Story 5, yes, it's happening.
Yeah.
Did you hear what else they announced?
The Incredibles 3?
The Incredibles 3.
Yeah.
All right. You think there's gonna be a third Finding Nemo movie? I think so.
What are they gonna do for a third? Because they already found Nemo.
Pete
They
Docter,
found Dory. Finding Marlin.
Pete Docter, when they asked him about
Finding Squirt.
Finding Squirt.
Finding Squirt.
Oh,
you so totally wrong, Squirt. Give me some bed. Noggin. Dude. Oh, I would watch that.
So he said Pete Docter, Chief Creative Officer at Pixar, when asked about Finding Nemo, third movie, he said, well, you know, the ocean's a pretty big place. A lot left to be explored.
Yeah, but we only care about, like, 3 fish.
Right, but I think he's saying, like, there's a ton of just stories that could potentially happen.
Yeah,
it may be just absolutely wild. I bet it's going to be in a completely different direction.
But you can't just get a random cast of fish together.
No,
it's got to be the same cast.
It has to be the core. But again, that movie hasn't even been the coral. That movie hasn't even been announced yet, so we'll see what actually happens.
And you know what? I want them to make as many Incredibles films as they can. I love both Incredibles movies. And Incredibles 1 ended on a cliffhanger.
One of the best comic book movies of all time, by the way. Incredibles.
Right. That's your opinion, sure.
Okay, what's your opinion?
No, it's great.
Do you agree?
No, I mean, just greatest of all time.
I didn't say greatest. I said one of the greatest superhero movies of all time.
Right.
It is flawless.
Okay, you know what? That's not too far of a stretch. So
no. Think about it in its time, okay? I want me to paint the picture for you, okay?
Right.
Incredibles comes out. We're in the middle of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man trilogy.
Right. Before the MCU. Before the DCU.
There's no Iron Man.
Yeah.
It is. You got Blade. You got an Incredible Hulk movie. You got X-Men and maybe X-Men 2.
Right.
And then you have Spider-Man, and then you're either about to get Spider-Man 2 or you just got... I think Spider-Man 2 may have come out a month before Incredibles came out.
Right.
So that's the superhero genre you're dealing with.
They kind of set the culture.
Incredibles came in, and they smacked some of them around. Now, Spider-Man 2 is flawless.
Yeah.
Oh man, imagine!
But
what
also,
a time! What a time! We got Spider-Man 2,
Yeah.
Shrek 2, and I'm pretty sure we got The Incredibles all around the same time.
Oh my god!
Look up when The Incredibles came out.
We never talk about that.
I need to know about. I need a confirmation on this.
Send me back.
It might be.
Send me back.
Okay, I have this thing where I just know release dates. I'm seeing June 19th, 2005.
Okay, let's see.
Please let me be right. Please don't be 2004. It might be 2004.
October 24th, 2004.
Dang it, I'm way off.
You were 8 months off.
But it was within the year.
Right.
But my point is, so Spider-Man 2 had not come out yet. Okay? Spider-Man 2 had not come out yet.
Even better. They were really setting
Incredibles came in and they set the tone.
Yeah.
So,
and here's the thing. Also, rewatching Incredibles 1, a weirdly, like, adult movie.
Dude, it's so good. It ages like fine wine.
Right.
You know how, like, whiskey, the older it gets, the better it gets?
Sure.
That's The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Incredibles is whiskey.
Yeah. I don't, like...
You're 35, McLennan.
And it has not, like, really aged a day.
No,
you know,
it's perfect.
Like there's some movies where you go back and you watch and you're like, oh, you can't say that anymore, you know, or it's like weirdly racist, but they didn't even know they were being racist.
Yeah.
But The Incredibles, you go back and watch and you're kind of just like, whoa, this movie.
Yeah, it was so good.
It's still just as good as the day it came out.
Yeah,
you know?
It's a flaw. So I'm excited for Incredibles 3. We know absolutely nothing about it. But speaking of animation, the other cool panel I got to do was the Marvel animation panel. So I got to see X-Men 97 Season 2, glimpse of that. I got to see a scene from What If Season 3, which will be the final season of What If.
Okay.
And then I got to see Eyes of Wakanda. I'm pretty sure Eyes of Wakanda is the show that they spent close to $100 million, if not more than $100 million on.
$100 million? Is it, and it's animated?
It's interesting. It's like they perfected an animation style from like 2007. I don't know how to explain. It's like this 3D, but it's so polished. It looks really interesting.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that, and then I'm mostly excited because we also got a first look at the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, a brand new animated show coming to Disney Plus about Spider-Man. Obviously, it's not canon to this MCU. It's a different variant of Spider-Man. We got to see how he became Spider-Man.
Everyone's a variant now.
Well, this is like
everyone's
this is
a
different.
variant.
This one's different. Like it's not Tom Holland's Peter Parker.
Okay.
But they basically like took the animation style out of like a comic book. And they gave it a little bit of also kind of like a 3D feel. Yeah. Marvel Animation kind of has a very specific animation they're starting to kind of put out.
Uh-huh.
I think it looks good. There's been a couple leaks of the trailer or the intro, whatever, and people haven't really been that excited about it. But in my opinion, you can't really judge a leak, you know? Like, it's a leak. You're watching a fuzzy camera of a guy trying not to be seen by security. Like, of course it's not going to look great. What do you expect?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
just watching a 360p leak.
Exactly. You know? It's like, what do you expect?
Yeah, filmed on somebody's like Nokia.
Yeah,
and they're like, doesn't look that good.
But yeah, so that was kind of like the D23 like, and the shopping was really cool. There's a store called Mickey's of Glendale. I wanted to shop at this store for like 10 years. Mickey's of Glendale is a store that only exists on the Imagineers campus.
Okay.
Like, you can only shop at the store if you're an Imagineer for Disney, unless you're at D23.
A store just for the Imagineers?
Yeah, it's like their company store. But they have, like, really cool, like, merch and stuff, like Walt Disney Imagineering shirts, sweatshirts. And they only bring that show to the public for D23. You can't get it online unless it's eBay. It's only those two places where it exists. Gotcha. So I finally got to shop there. I got a really cool hoodie that I really love. I bought a hat. Allison got a couple of shirts. It was surreal.
And your favorite of all of this was favorite moment of D23?
Well, I said my favorite moments, but you want me to give like an actual like non-sentimental?
No, I mean like what was like if you had to go back and you pick one. Yeah,
I do have one. The Last Day. Richard Sherman. So Richard Sherman, do you know who that is?
No.
Richard Sherman was one of the greatest songwriters of all time, and I say that because like think of like those iconic Disney songs. Like Mary Poppins, like all the songs from Mary Poppins, Jungle Book, so many he wrote.
Oh wow!
And he passed away at the age of 95.
So kind of like Alan Menken.
Yeah. So he wrote. Yeah, he's basically the original Alan Menken.
Because when I think of
him and his brother, when I
think of all of my favorite like Disney songs, I'm like that's all just Alan Menken.
Yeah, he's basically I think he's a little bit like above Alan Menken just because of like his history. Like, we're talking about somebody who personally, like, wrote and collaborated with Walt Disney.
Yeah.
So, he wrote Feed the Birds. Walt Disney used to have him and his brother come every single week to his office to play Feed the Birds.
Wow.
And so his brother passed away, I think, in 2012, but Richard Sherman, the second brother, passed away this past May.
Oh, wow.
So 3 months before D23. So the last day we got to go to this musical tribute for him. It's hosted by John Stamos. Like Kevin Feige was there.
Yeah.
They had like the original Mary Poppins from Broadway.
Really?
It was just like an incredible group of people. It was so like heartwarming.
Yeah.
We got to see clips. We got to see clips of Richard Sherman playing songs because in Iron Man 2 there's like an expo and they wanted it to be authentic and so they wanted an original song. So he was really excited. He wrote a song for Iron Man 2 just to not even be like known.
Was it in the movie?
Yeah, that's the thing. It wasn't even like known. Like it's not something that people just listen to, but it was for like it was playing in the background. But he was really excited about it. So he went and he wrote a song for them and he performed it for them. They had this clip of it. It was really cool. He also wrote It's a Small World. And so a few months before he passed away, he actually wrote an additional verse for Into the Small World. So we got to see a clip of him playing it for Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney.
He updated It's a Small World.
He decided to update it.
Like in the 21st century.
Yeah.
Like this, like of all the things, it's like we did not need it. It's a Small World update.
No, but
like, that song was doing just fine.
Yeah.
You know, like,
it was really touching though. It was really cool. But yeah, so I think that was my like favorite thing at the actual
memorial service.
Yeah,
Okay.
the tribute, but the actual like Honda events, the Honda Center events, like the movie trailer reveals, the theme park reveals, the performances. Like I saw Meghan Trainor perform "Feed the Birds." I saw
Meghan Trainor's coming back.
Yeah, she's come back.
Like Meghan Trainor had like 2 major hits a long time ago, and now I feel like I'm seeing her semi-regularly.
Her rendition of "Feed the Birds" is probably one of the best renditions of that song I've ever heard.
Really?
Like it was.
She's talented.
Crazy. It was so good. But we got Plain White Tees. They played a song from Encanto.
Plain White Tees.
Shabuzi played Life is a Highway.
Oh, wow.
It was wild. Pentatonics did this whole thing. Like it was
Pentatonics.
It was really cool. It was a special day.
What a group of people. This lineup.
Yeah, and then the Legend ceremony is the last day they inducted people into like the Disney Hall of Fame. So we're talking Harrison Ford, John Williams,
I'm
Miley
surprised
Cyrus,
it took this
Angela
long.
Bassett, Jamie Lee Curtis. It was such a good group of people.
Dude.
Frank Oz.
How did it take Indiana Jones this long to get inducted?
I don't know.
I guess Star Wars for a long time wasn't Disney. So
Yeah.
Han Solo. And is Indiana Jones is Disney?
It is now, yeah.
It is now.
Yeah.
So I guess like Disney had to acquire the rights to Harrison Ford's like best movie franchises.
10 years, it's only been like maybe 10, 11 years since they've owned those rights. So
I guess that makes sense. It's just weird that he's been such like a huge movie star for so long and he's just now becoming a legend. But I guess Disney had to buy the rights to him.
Yeah,
for
sure. Well, but anyway, so the Han Center was really cool. There's a lot of cool reveals. I want to get into those reveals. I want your reactions. I want your honest opinions.
Okay.
Whether you thought it's great, it's bad, you're looking forward to it, you're excited about it. I want to know what you think, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to go through kind of like a list of things that were announced.
All right, great.
All right, so first, they started off the event with like Moana 2. We got to reveal Moana 2.
I do like the idea of Moana 2.
They played a song, really cool. The trailer, it's a public trailer, it looked really nice. But after the Moana 2 stuff concluded, Dwayne Johnson stayed on stage.
Ooh.
I want to paint the scene for you. No, I want to paint the scene for you. So he's like, we've been working with Disney for a long time. He's been working with Disney since like the Game Plan, which came out in like 2008. Right?
Oh
so
my God.
He's like, I've been working with Disney for a long time. We have this great relationship. So I'm really excited to share with you guys what's next. Room goes dark. Clashing, metal banging, monster trucks. Dwayne Johnson is doing a monster truck movie called Monster Jam.
That's it?
That's it.
That's the whole premise of the movie is monster trucks?
Monster trucks.
Next. Next.
I was like, that was such a serious announcement.
What's the plot? Monster trucks.
Monster
Have you
trucks.
seen the trailer for Dwayne Johnson's movie about how Santa Claus gets kidnapped?
Oh, with Chris Evans?
With Chris
Dude,
Evans?
I'm so hyped. It's going to be terrible. I'm so excited.
It looks...
They got power slapping in there.
I was laughing the entire trailer.
I'm
I was
so
like,
excited.
Do you think that's like when they were making that movie?
J. Jonah Jameson, a.k.a. J.K. Simmons.
I was about to get really mad at you if you were like, you don't know his real name.
Jonah Jameson is playing Santa Claus, a ripped Santa Claus.
Yes, dude.
I love it.
J.K. Simmons can play any character.
He is so good.
Like I don't think he has missed.
No, he doesn't miss.
He only has bangers. I don't think he has a single miss.
I bet he bangs to the Pirates of the Caribbean theme song too.
I almost forgot about that. That's never gonna leave my head now. Dude, the entire trailer for that movie, I was dying laughing. The rest of the theater was just watching the trailer, and I felt like an idiot because I was just laughing to myself.
I was excited there with you. I'm excited. We're gonna go see it together.
Dude, it looked like it looked like a joke. Like it looked like satire. Even just seeing Dwayne Johnson in that trailer just seemed like too cliche.
Yeah, and they made this joke about the naughty list too. I was just like, oh my goodness.
I cannot wait for that movie.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm excited. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to start the holidays right.
But monster trucks?
Monster Jam is what the movie's called.
It's like the plot is monster trucks.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's going to be good.
That sounds bad in not a good way.
All right, let me set the scene in a different stage, okay?
Okay.
In a different way. Jamie Lee Curtis walks on stage.
Great.
Lindsay Lohan walks on stage.
Ooh.
Freakier Friday. Freakier Friday.
Whoa.
The sequel. Just wrapped filming today, actually.
Wait, the movie came out like 20 years ago.
Yep, they're bringing it back. Lindsay Lohan's a mom now.
Is she still switching bodies with her mom? Is it the mom and the grandma
we didn't see anything, but I think they got most of the original cast back.
Okay. Well, that's good for them.
I think it'll be fun. It'll be a fun watch.
Right.
It's fun to see. I'm happy to see Lindsay Lohan back in the main light again.
True. It's just weird how everything is a reboot now. I don't hate the idea of Freakier Friday, but it's been so long. And does Freaky Friday need a reboot?
Probably not. But it's just gonna. Listen. It was so cool seeing them together again.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of those things where I don't really care if the movie's bad. It's just cool to see them together again.
Yeah.
So that was announced. In the Marvel front of things, we got kind of like a sizzle reel of Fantastic Four: The First Steps.
Okay.
This is going to be a great cast. Galactus, we kind of concept look of what Galactus is going to be like in the movie.
Awesome.
That's going to be crazy. Anthony Mackie came on stage to showcase new clips of Captain America: Brave New World. Harrison Ford, listen, people are going to say Harrison Ford's doing this for the cash grab. Dude, he is going for it in this movie. He is the clip we saw a couple scenes with him. He's on a different level.
Does Harrison Ford have any Oscars?
I don't think he does, but he should. He should get a legacy Oscar at some point at least. It's a legacy Academy Award.
It's weird how long he's been killing it without an Academy Award.
Yeah.
Right?
He's pretty incredible, and he's, like I said, he's bringing something he's going to take this movie to a different level.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about that. We got a look at Agatha, Covenant of Darkness, which comes out this September. I didn't realize it's going to have musical elements. They came up. Michael,
Marvel musical.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, bro, she was on stage.
Yes! Okay.
She's in this show. You're gonna lose your mind. Marvel's back for you, buddy. Marvel is back for you.
Fine.
But they sang this number from the show. It gave me chills. It was so cool. Yeah, I mean, it was so cool. It's gonna be. I'm actually excited about it. I was kind of like, why is this necessary? I've been on the fence of why is this necessary. For so long.
Agatha TV show.
Yeah, I was like, why do we need this?
Because she was kind of the villain in WandaVision. So it's
it kind of felt like, oh, people liked her. Let's give her own spin-off.
Right.
Like back when kind of Marvel was throwing shows
just
at
throwing
people.
stuff out.
So I thought it was definitely gonna get axed, but no, it looks good. We got the trailer for Ironheart.
Okay.
Which looked pretty good too. Actually, it's gonna be okay. It's definitely the lesser of what they showed. But I think it'll be interesting.
Okay.
Daredevil Born Again, though.
Do you think that people form an opinion of movies and TV shows before they come out now?
Absolutely. Of course.
I feel like people
are telling me how bad The Acolyte was when they haven't even seen The Acolyte.
Right.
They tell me The Acolyte's the worst TV show. I've refused to watch it.
That's the thing.
How do you know?
That's the thing I've noticed too, is that people will I'll talk to people about these new movies that we're seeing, and they'll be like, I heard it's not good. And it's like, but you haven't seen it.
You're a dirty hypocrite.
What do you mean?
You're a dirty hypocrite.
What do you mean?
Go back a couple StarLog episodes when we're talking about The Acolyte. All I was saying, I was begging for you to wait for the show to finish.
I'd watched a couple episodes.
The show wasn't
I'd
done
watched
yet.
a couple episodes.
No, the show wasn't done yet.
I refused to finish it. I didn't enjoy it.
Oh my god. Anyway.
They should have made the show more enjoyable.
Okay, anyway. Daredevil Born Again.
Okay.
That's one of the best Marvel trailers I've ever seen. I don't know if it was just seeing the original cast back together, Punisher. I don't know if that's what it was.
Uh-huh.
The Marvel.
And is it a continuation of the Netflix show?
Yes.
Okay.
It is that universe. It's continuation. Dude, so the trailer, I cannot wait for everybody to see it. Again, there's some poor quality leak out there.
Right.
But I cannot wait for people to see that trailer. I can't wait for that show. It's gonna be so good. I think they went back and refilmed all of it essentially. And I think it shows in the best way possible. But yeah, so that was the Marvel section. Then we kind of moved on to Star Wars. We got Andor season 2, which I know you haven't seen Andor season 1.
No, everyone's been telling me to watch Andor.
It's fantastic. So. Like, take the Star Wars out of it. Fantastic performances all around.
Okay.
It's so good. I'm begging you to watch Andor.
I'm rewatching Lost right now, so unfortunately it's going to have to wait until that's over. Lost is such a good show.
Until it's not.
Right.
I don't know, I haven't seen it.
First 3 seasons are great. First 3 seasons are some of the best television in all of television. And then the last 3 seasons, it's like a steady decline. I like to describe the show as like a pyramid, where it's like up and up and up, and then down and down and down.
That probably makes sense. Again, I haven't seen Lost. I'll watch Lost the day I'll watch season 1 of Lost when you watch season 1 of Andor.
Is that a bet?
That's a bet.
All right.
Oh wait, no. There we go. There, handshakes equal. All right. They also showed the trailer for Skeleton Crew, which comes out this December.
Okay.
December 4th. Skeleton Crew is a brand new Star Wars series. It takes place the exact same time as Mandalorian. So 5 years after Return of the Jedi, they're basically going for their version of the Goonies and E.T., like the ambient entertainment movies. Okay. But it's basically like a group of kids. And I'll say why it feels kind of magical to me. This group of kids in a world that does kind of look like Earth.
Is it live action?
Yeah, live action. It does kind of look like Earth. I think it's meant to like mimic Earth in some ways, because obviously it's Star Wars. It's not Earth.
Yeah.
They find a Jedi temple ruin thing, find a spaceship, they blast off the space, it's like pirates, droids, they meet a Jedi. It's gonna be, it has this like feeling of when you were a kid and you pretended that you were put in the Star Wars universe. You grabbed your toy lightsabers, your toy blasters, and you were like, what if I was put in Star Wars?
Right.
That's kind of the magic I think it's capturing. I think it's gonna be really cool.
Okay.
So I'm excited for that. We also got a sizzle reel of Mandalorian and Grogu, the brand new movie that's coming. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be really cool. I want you to look at your phone.
Okay.
Okay, I want you to look at your phone. Sorry. I want you to look at the first picture.
Okay, Berkan sent me some pictures before we started and said don't look at these until we start recording.
All right, you're about to see what live-action Stitch looks like from Lilo and Stitch.
Okay. Oh!
The way the crowd erupted, Michael.
Oh,
it looks so cute.
It's good.
It's cute. It's good.
It's pretty true to form.
And the cool thing is, so that Lilo and Stitch was originally supposed to be a movie just for Disney Plus. Now it's coming out in theaters next May. So that tells me that it's coming out really, really well. Zach Galifianakis is Dr. Jumba.
Oh my god!
So that's gonna be interesting. Can you whip out your Stitch voice?
Mina, Mama Crista.
That's so good. Now, this is me if I try to do it. Mina, Mama Crista. I just sound like Jar Jar.
Yeah, you do sound like Jar Jar. It's kind of close. It's really deep in your throat. Yeah, it's got to be really... It's as far back there as you can go.
Ohana means family.
Ohana means family.
So good.
Family means no one gets left behind or forgotten.
It's so good. It makes my heart cry.
Does Stitch have to go on the ship? Can Stitch say goodbye?
It's so good. Like, what?
I know the whole thing. This is my family. I found it all on my own. It's little and broken, but still good. Yeah, still good.
It's so stupid how good that is.
Dude, they should have cast me for this movie. I swear to God.
They should have, but they got the original voice of Stitch instead.
Okay, so what's the second picture that
you
sent
me? The second picture is Snow White, the live-action Snow White.
Okay, I'm gonna scroll.
All right, what do you think?
This also looks pretty true to form.
So like, this looks the thing. Rachel Zegler gets a bad rap because she has some like bad PR with the show or the movie.
This looks like the original movie, like not like the original movie, but it looks like true to the source.
So for me, my problem with it was I thought she actually sounds really good because we got to see a musical number, we got to see the trailer. So she sounds really good. Gal Gadot, who plays the Evil Queen, actually looks and sounds really good in that role too. It's just something about the Seven Dwarves.
What about them?
That they just kind of look lifeless to me. Like when you're watching it in the trailer, they just kind of look. Because
from this
lifeless.
picture, they just look like a painting. Like they look almost exactly like they don't even really look like animation. It looks like she's kind of live action, and then everything around her is a painting.
Yeah, it's also kind of like, what's the point of live action?
Right. But also when they did The Lion King, everybody hated how live action it was. They're like, these look exactly like real lions, and meerkats and warthogs, and we don't like it. It took all of the life out of the characters. So I think they took that criticism and they're trying to meet in the middle, maybe.
But the thing is, it was like when they were like, it just didn't feel like it had like the life. It still didn't really feel. It still felt a little
this version
lifeless.
when it's like when they try to be more accurate to the source material, it feels like there's no life.
It feels like it. It's like a.
See, here's the
it's
thing.
like, it feels like a cosplay.
I think maybe rebooting things are always going to kind of create an echo of the original. It's never going to be as good as the real thing. It's just going to be a copy of a copy. You know what I mean?
I thought Aladdin, the live action Aladdin was great. I thought the Beauty and the Beast was good too. It just.
Gotcha.
I don't know. This one, I think it does have a chance because I think Rachel is actually good as Snow White. Like her voice is, she has a beautiful voice.
Okay.
So I think, and Gal Gadot, which I've said isn't the best actress. Like she was great as Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But like Wonder Woman 2 wasn't that great. Shazam wasn't that great. Justice League was okay. She actually, it felt like from the little I saw, it was a different level for her, in a good way. So I have some hope, but we'll see. I mean, I give every live action Disney does a chance. Speaking of Lion King, we got to see kind of an extended look at Mufasa, the new Lion King movie coming out this December.
Yes, I actually heard about this one.
Lin-Manuel Miranda came out on stage.
Oh my god, this guy.
He wrote all the music for it. We got to see kind of a musical number. The musical number was just okay, to be honest with you. It didn't like blow me away. Sorry, I have hiccups now. It didn't like blow me away. It was about brothers. The thing that people are going nuts about, and I said this back in April, and everybody clowned me for it, but the thing that people are going nuts about is people are realizing, wait, was Scar right this whole time? Because let me set the scene for you. Tell me what you know about Mufasa and Scar.
Well, here's the reason I know Scar wasn't right. He murdered Mufasa.
Okay, but why? He wanted the throne, right?
Yeah.
Because Mufasa was next in line and he got it, and Scar can never be king, right?
Yeah.
Okay, no. That's not what happened.
But then he tried to murder Simba, too.
Okay,
I'm
not saying his actions were wrong.
You just said,
right.
Was Scar right the whole time?
I'm just saying.
But you just said.
Okay, let me get to my point. Okay, this new movie brings new evidence to life.
That justifies killing your brother and child and his child.
My point is, Scar did kind of get screwed.
Screwed to the point where he's like, maybe I should kill my nephew.
Let me put this in perspective. Again, the actions weren't correct, but he did get screwed.
So what?
Okay, so Mufasa is an orphan.
Yes.
Mufasa's orphan. Scar saves Mufasa's life. We don't know that. I'm pretty sure Scar saves Mufasa's life.
So that gives Scar the right to take it away.
But no, I'm saying like Mufasa was just kind of like given the crown. Scar was next in line. But it was kind of one of those like relationships in the film where it's like Scar's father.
But clearly Scar wouldn't have been as good of a even if by law he would have been next in line.
Maybe he would have been. This movie explores that whole relationship.
Because then when he became king, the whole kingdom starved. And then Simba had to come back and be like, guys.
This movie explores that relationship between Mufasa and Taka. Taka is Scar. But my point is, Scar got screwed.
Right.
He was next in line. It was taken away from him.
Okay, so what? Everyone got. I got pulled over the other day and got a ticket because my registration was out of date. In my opinion, I got screwed because I wasn't speeding. I didn't hit anybody.
Was your registration out of date?
It was out of date.
Well then.
But here's the thing: if Scar became king, and Scar did become king for a little bit,
but Scar
and the whole
was next in line,
and the whole kingdom starved. So my point is that Scar shouldn't have become king.
Well, out of hatred.
Scar was willing to kill.
What if Scar was
his brother and his nephew?
Didn't have vengeance, and what if he didn't have years of just hatred? What if hatred didn't darken his heart? What if he was just meant to be king, and what if he became king and he had none of that evil inside him?
Do you think if that happened to you, you would have murdered anyone?
If I was originally supposed to be king?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have killed you if you took my spot.
I'm not even talking about me. I'm not even talking about... You went straight to... I would kill you, specifically. I didn't even say I took your spot.
Yeah, I think I would.
No, I think anyone who's willing to kill other people to get ahead does not deserve that position.
We'll see.
And I think even if he started off as... Everyone starts off as a good person. No one's born evil, right?
But that's the point. So if he didn't get screwed out of being a king, maybe he would have been a good king.
Yeah, but...
So you can't say, like, he was a terrible king. Yeah, he was a terrible king after all that hatred got to settle in.
But that doesn't mean he was justified in doing what he did.
I'm not saying he was justified. I'm just saying he got screwed.
Play back the tapes. Play back the tapes.
Scar was right. Oh, yeah, you got a point. Anyway, so yeah, we got a good look of that movie. A lot of just really cool trailers. We got a scene from Zootopia 2, which is going to be cool. Pixar's first original Disney Plus series. I kind of want to move on to The Next Night. right? The parks
Oh, we're still talking about D23.
Yeah,
oh
we're still.
my God.
This was a big weekend. I want to get your opinions on the theme park announcements.
Okay.
Okay, I know as someone who's not that big of a Disney fan, I want to see what your hype levels are.
Okay.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, first things first. Tony Stark is getting a Iron Man flight lab.
Okay.
Attraction at Avengers Campus. Robert Downey Jr. is returning to be Iron Man for the ride. Be Tony Stark for the ride.
Okay.
Multiverse Avengers Campus ride is finally kind of.
This is in Los Angeles.
In Disneyland. Yes.
Okay.
We're getting a Coco ride at Disneyland.
Ooh.
I didn't even tell you. There was one other big announcement.
Dude, Coco might be my favorite Pixar movie. Pause. Coco might be my favorite Pixar movie.
That's still incorrect. It's a great movie.
No, it's
top 6.
the best
for sure. Not the best.
It is the best.
No, incorrect.
All right. Well,
Incredibles, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, Toy Story 3, Inside Out. Maybe not Inside Out. I'll give you that one. Maybe that's a little iffy, but there's 4 at least above that. Mm-mm. You're stupid,
bro. You don't even think that.
I forgot a major announcement.
You don't even think Revenge of the Sith or Return of the Jedi or The Empire Strikes Back are top Star Wars movies.
They are top Star Wars movies. They're just not the top Star Wars movie.
You think there are multiple ahead of them?
I think no. It's Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Return of the Jedi.
Wait,
maybe Rogue One and then Empire Strikes Back.
I was about to say you put Rogue One,
but not Return. But my point is, Return of the Jedi is pretty high up there.
All I'm saying is, you can say as much as you want about your movie opinions. I don't respect them anymore. Now when you say Coco's not the best Pixar movie, I can say, well, this is the same guy.
This is
who put Rogue One over The Empire Strikes Back.
You are something. You are something. Not respecting my opinion. I don't respect you, Michael.
You don't think The Dark Knight is one of the best movies of all time?
I do think it's great. I think it's one of the best comic book movies of all time. I just think there are better movies out there. I need to get back to the D23 announcement that I skipped.
Okay.
We got the title of Avatar 3.
What's the title? Avatar 3.
Avatar. Fire and Ash.
We got the title of Avatar 3. Avatar 5.
But Avatar Fire and Ash, the Fire Nation is literally attacking.
Whoa.
Anyway, I say that because also come to Disneyland is their version of Pandora, but this one's going to be more based off Way
Avatar
of Water
3.
and Fire of Ash.
Avatar 3.
Avatar movies.
Fire Red and Ash Ketchum.
Ash Ketchum.
Yeah, Fire Red and Ash Ketchum.
Oh my gosh. So anyway,
Avatar 3, introducing Brock.
Is coming
and Misty
to
and
Disneyland.
Oh my God, Team Rocket invades Pandora.
You're the worst.
They literally have a rocket.
You're the worst. Okay, Disney World. What's something that you think... Do you know what the Disney World announcements?
No.
Oh, good. Okay. So, Frontierland... This is actually kind of controversial because they're wiping out an iconic Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer's Island.
Oh no!
I know. I'm not really.
Oh my God!
It's not a big deal, but they're adding cars to Magic Kingdom.
Wow. When are they going to add high-speed rails to Magic Kingdom? Am I right?
Well, they are also. They're adding a Villain's Land.
Oh.
And actually, the concept art looks fantastic. Okay. It's really cool. I'm really excited to see kind of how it turns out.
Right.
But my favorite thing...
For my sick and twisted mind, that's just land. For my evil, demented mind, Villain Land is just land. So that's just how weird and goth I am.
All right. What's the boo button? That was not the boo button.
We don't have a boo button. I say this every episode. We do not have a boo button.
Take the hint, Michael. Take the hint. Give me a boo button.
We do not have a boo button. I don't know how this rumor got started. There's only 2 of us. How did this rumor get started?
All right. My favorite thing that Disney Parks announced, coming to Hollywood Studios, a Monsters Inc. land, a Monstropolis.
Whoa.
And they're taking the scene where Randall chases Mike and Sully and Boo on the doors.
Yeah.
It's going to be Disney's first suspended roller coaster.
I love a suspended roller coaster.
I love a good suspended roller coaster. That moment, Monsters Inc. is my favorite Pixar movie.
Yeah.
So I'm
that's
very
respectable.
excited.
That's respectable. That's a respectable opinion.
I'm very excited about that. Okay. And then I saved kind of the last 2 D23 announcements specifically just for you. All right.
For me?
For you. One of them's not really I don't think you're gonna care that much, but the second one I think you're gonna care.
You saved an announcement for me that you don't think I'm gonna care.
So I have to prep on everything I just told you, right? Everything I just told you.
Yeah.
these two announcements were the hypest I had the entire weekend. This was the hypest the crowd had ever gotten.
All right.
It was unreal. Okay, the first one was they announced The Greatest Showman is getting a Broadway show.
Okay.
Which I think is going to be good.
Nice.
That's when the crowd erupted. And this is one step closer to our dream, Michael. One step closer.
Our dream?
To our dream.
Okay.
Hercules is going to the West End.
Oh my God.
One step closer, Michael.
Dude, I have been saying it's got to be close to 10 years now.
It's been testing for so long.
Hercules should have a Broadway musical. They have so many Disney Broadway musicals. They had Aladdin, they had Frozen, they had
Hunchback,
Mary Poppins. I don't think Hunchback ever got to
It never made it to Broadway, but
they have a soundtrack out there.
Have.
They have a stage show, and there's a soundtrack on Spotify, and it's really good. And they have so many Disney musicals, but Hercules literally is an entire musical. The movie is a musical.
So they
have an entire soundtrack. It's a great story.
Yeah.
And they refuse to put it on stage.
So they've been trying. So they tested it. They did this like park concert series, but then COVID happened. Then they brought it to like the Playhouse Mill or whatever. I think the same place where like Hamilton, Darren Hansen tested out, where Broadway shows go to be kind of tested. I think it's the same place Hunchback played.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure, but they tried it there. It didn't really do that well.
Damn.
But it's been playing in Germany.
And the Germans are eating it up.
They're loving it. The Germans are loving it. But so now it's finally like it's starting to make its way back. We're gonna get the West End.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think that Disney's trying to make Lin-Manuel Miranda the next Alan Menken? Because I feel like
yeah, for sure
they're getting Lin-Manuel Miranda to write like everything.
Are you kidding?
But he's just not.
Lin-Manuel Miranda even wrote a song with Alan Menken for the Little Mermaid live action a couple years ago.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, like they're absolutely.
They're trying to hand off the baton. They're trying to pass the torch, but I don't think he's up to snuff.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, it was.
But Alan Menken is getting up there, so I think they're trying to say if Alan's going to retire, we got to have somebody.
Yeah, but but Lin-Manuel Miranda, just to be clear, doesn't have anything to do with the Hercules musical. Okay. They did come out. They performed "Go the Distance" and the "Bless My Soul."
Dream.
Herc is on a roll. That song with the music's electric,
right?
Electric, and that Michael, 47 minutes indoor podcast,
dude. I knew that this was what you've been trying to make 25-minute episodes for a minute now, but I was like, this is gonna be.
There's no way
a double whammy.
I couldn't do it. That was D23. That's all the crazy thing that's happened. That's all the crazy stuff that's happening at D23.
Okay. That is so much stuff to digest in just the course of... How long were you there? A weekend?
A weekend.
That is too much stuff to digest in the course of a weekend.
Be the first to see Alien Romulus. That was cool.
You already saw it?
I saw it because I saw it. It's now out, but I got to see it a week before anybody else. I got to see it before the press saw it. I literally was one of the first people to see it ever.
I have never seen the Alien movies, so I'm watching the Alien movies now before I see Alien Romulus. I've only seen Alien 1, but it holds up. For a movie that came out in like the 80s, I think it came out in 79.
Yeah,
it's For a movie that came out that long ago, it holds up.
And you can watch Alien Romulus now. That you've seen that one?
Really? That's it?
It takes place in between the first and second one.
Oh.
So you can watch it now.
Okay.
You should. I
think I will. Because there's like five Alien movies. So if I don't watch it now, it's going to be a minute before I have the time to watch 5 movies.
Yeah. It's really cool. I will say I was really stressed during the screening because it was a 4D screaming. It was a 4D screening. And I was really stressed about it. I turned the water feature off, right?
The water feature?
Yeah, because you can turn water on or off in a 4D screening. Mean? It means you can either choose to be
the 4D water. Like sprays. Okay.
Yeah, it's 4D. It's immersive.
I thought you were like, I got so stressed, I turned the waterfall off. The babbling brook was just too stressful. I was like, what are you talking about?
But, so
the water feature.
So I turned it off, and then I was taking a sip of my Pepsi because they gave us free sodas.
Okay.
The drink collapsed. Like the lid wasn't on correctly, so I lifted it up, and then
you were squeezing so hard just from stress.
I just picked it up. No, I just picked it up, but the lid wasn't on, and so when I picked it up, it just kind of
weird
spilled all over me.
Okay.
But so literally, I was wearing these shorts. All of it was just. It looked like I'd pissed my pants incredibly.
Okay.
And I was sitting the entire.
You got so scared. Oh, everyone! Big screen Berkan pissed his pants.
That's what I was so scared of.
Got so scared of Alien Romulus.
I was so scared. The entire movie.
And you're surrounded by content creators. If someone pulled out their phone, they're gonna post a TikTok to their million followers.
I was so stressed. I mean, literally, I was sitting in a puddle of Pepsi the entire movie, Michael.
Yeah.
the entire movie. Thankfully, I got it. My pants were still a little bit moist.
That's a nightmare.
The stains were gone. Yeah, it literally was my worst.
That's a nightmare.
It was. I'll.
It normally wouldn't be a big deal if you just spilled on yourself in a movie theater, but then being surrounded by and every single person in the theater has a following and is looking for content.
Yeah, it was stressful.
You know,
it was stressful for sure.
Well, you survived.
I survived.
Right.
I made it through. But yeah, that was my alien
thank you
story.
for telling me about D23. I feel like I was there.
I'm sorry. This took up the whole thing, but it's just so much.
I carved out a couple tangents where I could.
Okay.
So I had a lot of fun.
I'm glad.
I think this was a banger episode.
I've been waiting. I wanted.
I think
to
we
tell
killed
you
it
about it so much.
Yeah, and I literally told you when I walked in, I was like, I want to hear all about it, but if you tell me now, like, I'm not gonna have a genuine reaction. I'm not gonna be genuinely listening when we do the podcast episode because I'll already know
for sure. I mean, it was, but I've been saving. Like, I did not make a D23 recap video.
So this was the
podcast. This was my recap.
This was the
I was
D23
saving
recap.
it exclusively for StarLog.
Wow. A StarLog exclusive. You heard it here first.
Exclusive.
Wow, that is loud. We got to turn those sound effects down.
But it was appropriate, right?
Absolutely. They were the air horns. They got to be as loud as possible.
Anyway, I'm Lin-Manuel Miranda.
And I'm Alan Menken.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay.
I want to be Dwayne Johnson. Specifically Dwayne Johnson in Monster Jam.
Okay, then I'll be Harrison Ford in in Indiana Jones.
Dun, dun, dun. I want to be Harrison Ford in the bedroom, getting it on to dun 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 dun.
This is the worst mashup I've ever heard in my life. Okay, well, thanks for listening. Goodbye.